Today I was going to have a look at this Wolfang GA420 action camera. Let's not open the box. I already have the camera here. It's actually quite heavy for a camera so small. I don't think that's the battery, because you can actually take the battery out. I'll show you in a minute. Yes, as I say, for an action camera it is rather heavy. It has two screens, one on the front, one on the back, and the obligatory waterproof case. I'll come to that very shortly. The idea of the waterproof case is so you can take the camera out and use it down to, I think it's 10 meters. I don't want to go that far with it, but yes. I have also seen another mention of someone that said that the camera itself is waterproof. I don't think so. So I'm not going to try it. Let's have a look. It's pretty standard. Camera goes in the case, shut the lid, lid hooks over, no problem, and there we are, and away you go. Let's turn it on. Push that button there. It is actually a touch screen, but obviously touch screen isn't going to work while it's in the case, but there's a reason I'm doing it this way. Yep, it does work. Front screen comes on when it wants to. I haven't quite figured that out yet. Like most waterproof cases, it's got a mount on the bottom for you to attach any of its mounting brackets. Let's have a quick look at the mounting brackets. In the box, that's where the camera sits in its housing. It comes with two batteries, obviously I've got one in the camera itself, and it comes with this, the obligatory box of accessories. Don't worry, I'm not going to go through them all. Let's put those away. Also, I've taken the manual out of the box just to make my life easier. Another thing that comes with the accessories is this. It's a remote control. The idea being you can stop and start the camera and take pictures with the remote control, but as you see, I haven't tried it. Go back to the housing. Yes, it's great if you want to go underwater with it in the sea, swimming pool, whatever. Yep, great. Keeps the camera waterproof and still working. However, because it's in an airtight box, you can't hear the microphone. That's where my debate comes in, because as I said, someone did say that you can use it underwater without the housing. He actually said the camera was waterproof. I don't think so. Let's take it back out again. There's the microphone there, which makes me think this is not to be used in water. If I push this here and slip that out of the way, it's easier said than done. We have two ports. One of them is to connect it to your computer and to charge up the battery. The other one is for this. Microphone. This flap is easily accessible if it's not in its waterproof case, or you haven't got any mounting brackets connected to it. Any bracket you choose to put on it will cover part of the flap, which makes it a pain because that means you have to take the bracket off just to do anything. Let's have a look at its settings. As I said, it's got a touch screen. Let's zoom in a bit for you. Video resolution. It can do 4K at 60 frames per second. It can do 4K at 30 frames per second. It can do 2.7K at 60 frames per second. It can do 2.7K at 30 frames per second. It can do 1080p at 120 frames per second, and it can do 1080p at 60 frames per second, 720 at 240 frames per second, and 720 at 120 frames per second, as well as 720 at 60 frames per second. It really is very, very versatile. You can alter the angle that it can actually see. It's got wide, medium and narrow. I'll be honest, I don't know what diving mode is. It's either on or off. It's got various effects on it. Normal, black and white, and natural, as well as negative and warm. I've not tried them, as you may have guessed. Overall, yes, it's quite nice. It's compact, like action cameras are. However, it's not for me. I'll show you why. Here we are. Let's turn it on. I'll push the button around here at the top, this one, and on it comes. No problem. But as you see, it's in the case. But as I already pointed out, the microphone is inside and it doesn't hear very well. It's not meant to, because obviously it can go underwater. So you have to take the camera out. Let's turn it off again, because this is more, for me, this is the part of the problem. Take the cover off. It's this button here that turns the camera on. Let's turn the camera on. Yep, I'm definitely pushing the button. As I say, for me personally, that is part of the problem. I do actually find using the buttons when it's not in its waterproof case very hard and awkward to do. Yes, I know it has a remote control, but if I don't have the remote control, or if I've lost it, I've had it. If it's sitting in its waterproof case, then obviously it can't hear very well, so you have to have it outside of the case. But as I said, if it's in the case, it doesn't hear very well, which is understandable. But the picture quality, I have to admit, I was impressed. I'll go and take a short video now for you. But I have to admit, for the price, it's less than £150. I'll put a link in the description. It's not bad. But for me personally, no. I'm going to have to send it back. But overall, it's not for me. I'll leave a link in the description where you can get one from. It might be for you. It's just me. For less than £150, I actually do think it's quite reasonable. If you like this content, hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't like this content, hit the thumbs up button 3 times. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.